and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. In this tutorial we're going to look on different type of light source. If you're already familiar with them and used before, you can skip this tutorial and continue with next one. But for those who maybe want to refresh your memory or doesn't know, we can look on the new light sources and light sources that already exist inside the Vue Extreme or Vue Infinity 2014 version. If you're familiar, you can create light sources by navigating on your left menu. Right here you can see you have a different, and if you right click with your mouse you can expand the selection and you have a different light sources. The standard point light, quadric point light, spotlight, quadric spotlight, directional light. You also have a light panel, and new that what is introduced in Vue 2014 or 12, it is daylight portal. Daylight portal does not actively produce light, but it is help to calculate lights when you want light up internal inside a building, room, or some other one. So it's help to calculate it and also speed up rendering and produce more accurate result with that. Also, you have it by default the sunlight. Sunlight is act as directional light. So if you're creating new directional light, you'll notice right here we have two options. Directional light, it will light all objects equally from same distance. And it is helpful when you want to offset maybe some lighting creating by sun up front of camera, but you don't want to have hard shadows. Okay, so let's look a little bit closer on some of the slides. The point light, it create linear single point of light that distribute light in all directions. Quadric point of light, acting somewhat similar to the regular spotlight, except the lights is that producing intensity is actually decreasing in reality of the light as its free path. So it's more natural lighting, and you notice when you can use it in as a photometric, they are preferred to use it quadric light due to natural lighting fallout. As example, let's go open properties, and you can just double time click on the light object to open light editor, or you can access to your editor on the top right side. So right here what I want to show you, if we go inside the lighting, you'll notice new options added on the bottom for the metric settings. And for example, on a standard light, linear light, if we're going to use IS profiles, you notice we have option pop up and says you accessing profile, the light does not have quadric condition, so it is just linear, it does not represent natural, so we can disable for now. And of course the quadric light, it's more appropriate to use for this. Okay, so let's go ahead. Same things, we have a spotlight. The different from the spotlight in other, it is send light beams in one direction. This is lights we're going to use quite a bit when we're creating some more volumetric or guard rays simulations. You can actually use the spotlight to add light gel and project in one direction to creating some light beams strings. We can do same things with quadric or point light, but spotlight will give us those beams in one direction we want to use. Same things for the quadric. We already look on directional light, which is similar what we have it with sunlight. The only different on the sunlight, okay, let's go right here, we have directional light. If we go to atmosphere open, and in the sun right here you can see we have it positions that we can control sun object. However, directional light, if you want to control it, we actually need control different way. So here, let's kind of readjusting. And just example, you see we only work with the sunlight right here. We want to move this one. Okay, so this is attached to just one object. Okay, next, the light panels. They produce light in a direction, and it's almost like area lighting. So you can set, scale, creating different options. And in one tutorial, I'm using them as illuminate inside the room as example. And there we can look a little bit closer on the properties on the light panels and see how it's work. And how I said before, we have another one in the daylight portal, and you'll notice it is have a direction where to calculate for the light. And we're going to look on daylight portal in another tutorial a little bit closer. So let me go ahead, delete this one. The one more light source we actually can create it. It is converted from almost any object. So as an example, we'll go create a sphere. Let me go create it. Okay, so we'll go take our sphere, and you can right click on a sphere. We'll go to on top in area. So right here we have it convert to area light. So what we can do, it is enable, and now this object it's become produce lights for us. Okay, let me take camera, just readjust, so we can see the kind of from the bottom, and we can of course increase power of this object so you can see the effect it's producing. So now our whatever shape we wanted can become the power of producing. They have other options we can do as well, but overall here's a very simple overview of few lighting objects that we can use. So let's look on the different atmosphere types and different lighting atmospheres, or type of lighting atmospheres in our next tutorial.